What's up, YouTube family? Welcome to, I would say, this is my first official video. The intro video, it counts, but it doesn't count. So this is my first official video. My name is Kamara. This is Need Deep Healing, because I believe everyone needs deep healing. And the title of this video is 10 Things to Do Before You Do Mushrooms. Now, let me just put it out there. I know a lot of people are starting to do mushrooms now. It's becoming more popular and much more accepted, and a lot more acceptable to talk about, which is awesome. Shout out to the state of California for decriminalizing mushrooms. That is also awesome. It's a step forward. I'm hoping more states start to do this because there's no reason that everything that's bad for you is totally legal and everything that's going to make you a better person is illegal for a purpose. More people are starting to do mushrooms, so I wanted to put some information out to basically help people, because psilocybin mushrooms are an amazing, amazing healer. The gratitude to the mushroom spirits, but it's an amazing healer. It's like nothing that you will ever experience, you know, in the human form. So I just want to drop, you know, some information that's hopefully helpful to you guys. So this is going to be 10 things to do before. Well, you know what? Before we get into this, I kind of want to put this disclaimer out there. So I had been pretty straight-laced all of my life. Like, I'd never done any type of drug. I don't even now, like, I've never done like cocaine or these pills that people do. It's just not my thing. I grew up around a lot of people who smoked and sold drugs. I grew up with, on my dad's side, a lot of people heavy on like hard drugs like crack, and it just made me be like, I'm good. I don't even want to try weed or anything. So I didn't smoke weed for the first time until I was 28, because I was programmed. Basically, I went to DARE class and was taught that this is a horrible thing, and I believe that this is a horrible thing. So the first thing to do is to educate yourself. And to educate yourself, you may have to get rid of some of the programming that you've previously had that pumped fear into you, so that, you know, you wouldn't be able to discover higher aspects of yourself. So do your own research. Don't just listen to what you were taught in school, or what your parents taught you. I hate to say that, but you just have to do your own due diligence and do some research. So there are going to be some videos, links to videos and articles in the description box for you guys that I read that helped me get comfortable enough to do mushrooms. So the way this came about, I'm a heavy weed smoker. Now, disclaimer, for the last 5 weeks I haven't smoked. I'm actually really proud of myself, because prior to that I was smoking about 1.5 ounces a week and backwoods, so you know, my blunts would be huge. So I needed a tolerance break, and then I also wanted to smoke clean. Like, I want to smoke my own stuff. I want to know what's in it. Like I said, I'm not big on like drugs, and not calling marijuana a drug, but just putting foreign substances into my body is what I mean. I don't take medicine unless I absolutely need to. It's an antibiotic. I don't get vaccinated. Like, I'm good. I want to keep what the Creator gave me in its purest form. So the way psilocybin came about for me is one of my friends was like, Kamara, you love weed, why don't you try mushrooms? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know, I hear that it makes you hallucinate. And for me, I'm thinking hallucinate means like, you know, those people that you see walking down the street and they like talking to the ether. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not trying to be that. But it's really not a hallucination as much as it is the veil of reality is lifted. So you just get to see something exquisite. So anywho, I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to try that. And he's like, nah, you should really do it. So I started watching these videos. Again, these videos are in the description box for you guys. I really implore you to watch these videos before you just jump right in. So I started doing my research, and I'm like, okay, this sounds like something I could get into. It's natural, it's a fungi, which means it's picking up information straight from source, straight from Mother Earth. It's picking up divine knowledge, basically. So I'm like, okay, I do my research, and I decide, okay, I'm gonna do it. This will be a separate video on what these experiences were like, but I mean, some of the most amazing spiritual experiences I've ever had in my life. So do your research, videos in the description box. Another part of educating yourself is know what you're taking. So if somebody's selling you or giving you some mushrooms, you should know what it is. You should be asking them, hey, what is this? And then you should do research on that thing. Understand what you're taking, because you may react differently to certain strains. So my favorite is the Golden Teacher. I've had my most spiritual experiences. Gratitude, Golden Teacher. Gratitude, Mushroom Spirits. But I've had my most amazing spiritual experiences with the Golden Teacher. So far, that is my favorite strain. So know what you're taking. Number 2 on my list is be in a healthy mental space. So if you're not in a healthy mental space, I mean, the worst part of any trip is you could have a bad trip. And it's not really a bad trip, though. So you can have a bad trip and you will experience the worst parts of yourself. Still you, but a lot of people are not ready to face themselves in that way. So that is the worst thing that can happen. So if you're like in a depressed state where you're like in a low vibrational, second dimensional energy, you don't really want to take mushrooms. Or if you just had a big fight with your partner and you stressed out, it's not like, oh, let me go smoke some weed and calm my stress. You don't want to do that when it comes to psilocybin mushrooms. So be in a healthy mental space. Third thing on my list is hydrate. Hydrate. So you want to drink tons of water the day before. It's like a workout. You have to prepare your body for this. So hydrate the day before, drink tons of water before you take them as well. And then while you're tripping or while you're on your journey, have some water close by. Kind of have it near you, because your consciousness is so elevated. You're not thinking about certain earthly things that you should be thinking about. So just having it close to you will kind of help you be like, oh, okay, I need to drink water. Also, your mouth gets super, super dry during a journey. So make sure you have water close by. And then the day after, people don't tell you this, but you have what I call a shroomy hangover. So it's like, for me, it lasts until noon, or, early in the morning, depending on when you wake up. But you do have a little bit of a hangover. So also the day after, you want to be hydrating. The fourth thing on my list is to take them on an empty stomach. So you go through a thing when you do ayahuasca, when you do psilocybin mushrooms, to my knowledge. I haven't experienced it with DMT, but you will go through a process called purging. And they talk about this in the videos that are in the description box as well. But when you purge, think of it as your body is cleansing itself. No different than how Muslims, before they go in a mosque and they go do their prayers, they clean their feet. You may be presenting yourself to spirit world. So they're going to get the nasty stuff out that needs to come out. So you may purge. Purging looks different for different people. Purging may look like sweating, like extensive sweating. It may look like diarrhea. It may look like vomiting. Most people have vomit or diarrhea. Sweating too. So you may have all of these things too. It can be rough. About 30 to 45 minutes in, you should start to have that purge. So just know you're going to have about 20, 30 minutes of a hard time. So yeah, take it on an empty stomach. You don't want to have to purge out a lot. Also, you should be planning this. Start eating clean before you are going to go on your journey. Don't go have Chipotle the night before. It's not going to go good for you. So make sure you eat light when you actually take it on an empty stomach. And then you can eat afterwards. So where are we at? Fifth thing on my list is to set intention for your trip. For me, setting intention looks like holding them in my hands, and I'll set the intention, just like if you have crystals and you set an intention for your crystals, or whatever, you set an intention to make some money, whatever it is, set the intention. So the intention for me, for one of my trips was I wanted to meet one of my spirit guides, and I wanted to learn anything that would help me in both the material world and spirit realm. And those things happened. So set intention for your trip. Another part of setting an intention, but it's different, is to, and this is number 6 on my list, is to give the mushroom spirits gratitude. So boom, I have them in my hand, I set my intention, and then I will say something similar to, even though I've set my intention, I'm just grateful for whatever you will show me. And then I give my love, because the universal language is love. You know, we all want to experience love, no matter how much you say you don't. The universal frequency is love. So give the mushroom spirits your love. If it's your first time, especially if you do a big trip, like a hero dose, a bigger trip is like 4 grams or higher. For me, like people microdose, I would suggest your first time to microdose, unless you are very spiritually in tune, then I say go for it. When I first had my first trip, you know, I just did a little tiny microdose and nothing happened. And I was kind of scared too. You know, I'm be super honest. I was kind of scared. And the person that was telling me I should do them, I'm telling him about this experience. And I'm like, yeah, nothing happened. I'm like, I did it again, and I took, you know, a little bit more, and nothing happened. And his friend was like, man, fuck that, Kamara. You got a strong mind. You got to just take it all. And I was like, oh, take it all. I didn't think I was ready, but I did take the remainder, and it was an amazing experience. Now, because I started off slow, I was able to see what I could tolerate. I'm a small woman too. I think your size matters. I'm like 105 pounds, so they're gonna hit you differently. If you take a bigger dose, like they call it the hero dose, which is like 4 grams or more, that's like you go in a spirit world. You know, 4 grams for me, I know I'm going to spirit world. Anything under, you get to see some cool things, and you know that you get to see that the plants are alive, and you may see certain things, or you may see auras or different energies. But like if you're taking a hero dose, especially if you're in a good mental space and you're very sound spiritually, you're probably going to encounter some entities or deities or just higher dimensional beings. I don't really want to say not entities. I mean, you may experience some entities. They may be, it depends on your vibration. If you're low vibration, you may experience some entities, and they may tell you to do some crazy wild stuff. But really, the mushroom spirits want to love you. They are spirits. They truly are spirits. So give them your gratitude. You'll probably give them even more gratitude after the experience, because, you know, you can't really give proper gratitude for something you haven't experienced yet. So just give them your love, give them your gratitude. The mushroom spirits love me, and I love them. So give them that love. Number 7 on my list is to cleanse, clear, and protect your space. So make sure your house is like free of clutter and clear. You know, you don't want to have you just don't want these issues, you know, of stuff all over the floor when you're incoherent, because you will be incoherent. Like, you shouldn't be outside. You should be in the safety of your own home, or you should be with a shaman or a shamana. So you shouldn't be like outside outside too much unless you're in your own yard, for your own safety and your own well-being. But just make sure the space is, clean. You don't want to have a dirty space. At least I don't. I don't know. Some people might, but I don't. Also clear the space, light some sage, do some smudging, light some Palo Santo. Clear the space of the energies and entities that are not qualified to be near you and around your frequency. Cleanse your area, and do some chanting when you cleanse. But you definitely want to cleanse the space. For people who are gonna smudge or do, smudging is Palo Santo or sage, saging your place. Make sure you have a window or a door open so that the energy has somewhere to go. I know a lot of people make that kind of newbie mistake. So make sure that, you have a window or a door open, and that you cleanse that space, and you cleanse it from the furthest corner of your wall to the front door. Open the door, let that energy out, and then put a circle of protection around you and your space. That looks different for different people. If you don't know what I mean, just call upon the Christ consciousness and ask that it put a circle of protection around you, and make sure that you're protected, because you are going into different dimensions, especially if you're going to be taking a hero dose. So you want to make sure that you're protected. You may not even believe that this is a real thing, but the veil will be lifted and you will shortly see anyway. So just do it. Number 8 on my list is don't have any children around or any tasking responsibilities that you have to do. I think it's irresponsible. And I think you don't want your children, especially small children, anything you have to take care of, you don't want to be doing mushrooms on. A lot of people will do ayahuasca. They're at a retreat with someone who is over them. They don't have anything else to do but be there for that experience. So you have to dedicate your whole day to that. You may have to get a babysitter or do it while the children are away or going to be at school, because a typical trip is going to last 3 to 6 hours. So you want to make sure during that time you don't have anything to do. If you have pets, just make sure your pets are already taken care of and you've prepared so that you can dedicate your day to having this experience, because it is an experience. I would recommend not doing it on a day where the next day you have to get up early and go do something, because you're going to have that hangover. Is going to end up a really awful next day for you, especially if you're doing a hero dose. This is for a higher dose. If you're just microdosing, you may experience some of these things, but everything won't be applicable or as applicable as it would be to someone who's going to do a hero dose 4 grams or higher. Also, you look crazy as hell when you are on mushrooms. At least I do. So you don't want your kids seeing you like that. You know what I mean? So just be responsible. You know what I mean? Your conscious is somewhere else. You elevate it. Don't have a bunch of things to do. That's just irresponsible. And don't drive. I think that's a given. But I've watched videos where people said that they were driving. Eventually they had to pull over, but what the hell? Why would you do it? Number 9 on my list is to plan to have a babysitter, a shaman, a shamana, a trusted friend, preferably someone who's done it before so that they know how to help you. But have someone experienced to help you in case things go south, because again, you may have a bad trip. I do not want to scare people, but I do want to put it out there that it's a possibility. It kind of depends on your energy, to be very honest, or what your guides may feel needs to come through for you. There's no such thing though as a bad trip. Again, the worst thing you can experience is the worst aspect of yourself. So yeah, plan to have somebody to be checking on you. For me personally, I like to trip by myself because I like to be nude. I hate clothes. I don't like clothes when I'm in my 3D mind. So when I'm operating on a higher consciousness, I'm just ugh, these human clothes. So I like to be nude. So that's one of the first reasons I like to do it alone. I look crazy as hell, and I'm just more comfortable alone. I'm kind of a loner at heart anyway. I like to be alone. It's a lot of peace and solitude for me, or peace in solitude for me. So for me, I will, have a couple of my loved ones, or I have a shamana that I work with, and I'll just, let her know, hey, check on me every couple of hours. Or I'll, tell a loved one, hey, check on me every couple of hours, just to make sure I'm good. And normally when they call me, I'm just like, everything is lovely, and, the universe, and, I'm just in the most happiest mood. So that's number 9 on my list. And the last and final thing on my list it's the lemon trick. So you can soak your mushrooms in lemon for about 20 minutes, and it will make your trip shorter and intensify it. It's like how lemon cooks ceviche. It's a similar thing with the psilocybin. So you can soak them in lemon for about 20 minutes. It doesn't need to be long. And it'll intensify and shorten your trip. So instead of maybe 3 to 6 hours, maybe you have, 1.5 to 3 hours. It's more probable. So yeah, there's the lemon trick. I think that is it. Hopefully I haven't left anything out. Oh, here's another one, which goes with setting your intention. Is also, if you have an altar, sit them on your altar space. Talk to your guide. Talk to your higher self. Really get in tune with yourself. Meditate beforehand. You can also do hemisync beforehand, and to just get yourself balanced. But that all goes into, I think, being in a healthy space. But you can put them on your altar as well, and talk to your guides or whatever energies you work with. But it's a preparation. I hope I covered everything. And if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the description box. Again, before you go, hit that like button, especially if you learned something or got some good information. Share, subscribe. I love you guys. I'm sending y'all lots of love, and I'll see y'all in my next video.